What's life been like since the day of that press conference? Describe what it's been like to this day.
What life has been like, it's still been a smooth transition. I think getting acclimated, getting accustomed to being around the coaches, the players. So I still feel like I'm playing catch up to some degree, but at the same time, the players and the coaches helped me make that transition in the right way. And so it's just been nonstop football, and that's what I signed up for.
We were talking about this morning with practice, the first one. When you were out here, we're at the 50-yard line. I've asked you this before. Has any of this kind of set in and you kind of gone, dang, I really am the head football coach at Norfolk State?
Yeah, I think today it really set in. Just being able to walk up and down the sidelines and throughout the field, monitoring different positions and, different drills and what was happening and what was going on. It's like I'm responsible for all this. I'm responsible for everybody who's out here, and I got to make sure that this ship sail in the right direction. And so, while we trying to chart the right path, I'm confident that I got the right staff to help me, guide the ship. And so, that makes it a lot easier. It makes it very comfortable. It really sunk in today, finishing up my first practice.
I remember talking to Tommy Raymond about this towards the tail end of your career. We had talked years ago. He said he's going to coach one day. I was like, yeah. I didn't know he had an interest. It's one thing to think about it, but now that it's here, what's going through your head?
Yeah, when I called Coach Raymond and told him that I had the offer to work here at Norfolk State, Coach told me, like, step up, do it, don't be afraid. I know, you're at a critical moment in your time in your life where family's important, kids, but you still have to take into consideration, the things that you like to do, your livelihood, and you can always bring them along with you. And so, I think by this just being home made it a lot easier to transition into it. But I felt like God opened the door and I wanted to walk through it.
Deion Sanders was among those who said, about time for starters for you to be a head coach. But I think about him, I think about Eddie George, Deshaun Jackson now at Delaware State.
Yeah.
We're seeing a new era of coaches. The Nick Sabans, they're retiring now.
Right.
Your generation really connects with today's kids.
Yeah.
How advantageous can that be, or can you not go, I can't just ride on what I did?
Yeah, definitely don't want to try to ride on what you did. I think, it's enough fame and notoriety within, the circumference of this place to, be able to, draw kids from anywhere. We want to always use that to our advantage. And certainly, the young men in that locker room help keep me young. And they, Coach, why don't you do this? They make suggestions and they help out. And yeah, Deion and Deshaun, we all felt like it was, the time was right. I certainly felt like the time was right for me, and I just wanted to, do something that my kids can look at and see that I'm still thriving and still working hard and still trying to be the best version of myself. And so I thank them that they gave me the liberty and the platform for Dad to go off and try to be great, once again. And so that's part of the journey. I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to see what happens as we continue to move forward.
We were talking with several of your players this morning, and the thing is, some of them were still in that mode of, oh my gosh, it's Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Which was harder, them adjusting to you or you adjusting to them?
I think them adjusting to me is really easy. They just have to listen and do what I say, and not take every word that I say and apply it to their life, but something every day that we get. I think me adjusting to them and getting to know them and understanding their personalities, who they really are, backgrounds, where they're from, what they like. It's a year-long process, but to try to do it in 2 months is not going to happen. And so, the one thing I do regret is not being here early. Want to, be true to Fox and fulfill my obligations with them. And I'm glad they gave me that grace period, but now I get to have, Norfolk State football to myself.
Family are the guys we're talking about. What does family mean to you when you're describing your football team?
Yeah, family is everything. It's about the brotherhood. It's about the chemistry that we create. You know, it's about the camaraderie, the togetherness, the belief, you know, in self. And, you know, we all got to be as one. And that's the message we preach. You know, you can't stray away, you can't stray outside of what we're trying to accomplish here in this building. And I think when I look at those young men, they want to win. They want to do it different. They want to be taught. You know, they want to be scrutinized and ridiculed to a point where it makes them better. And so seeing that and understanding it helps me on a day-to-day basis. And now we can coach hard because that's what you got to do. And then we find ways to win.
With that said, what kind of program are you trying to establish here?
I'm trying to establish a program that, you know, 10 years from now, you know, the culture remains the same and the standard remains the same. It's a winning culture, it's a winning atmosphere. You do things a certain way and, you know, that's leaving a legacy. And so just in this stint or however long it may be, and that's up to the man above, we want to set standards on a day-to-day basis on what it's going to take to be the best version of ourselves, you know, not just on the field, but in the classroom as well. And so, you know, while we preach football is important, we also know that, you know, the most valuable asset is getting that degree. And hopefully they appreciate that.
We were talking about your coaching staff. I remember asking a few of your players, and one of your linebackers said, does this give you guys instant credibility that they have been in the NFL? How big a deal is that to today's student athlete?
I think it's a big deal because, you know, while you barking, you know, all these cadences and all these things at these guys, you know, they gonna draw on experiences. Well, what did you do? Or what did, you know, your expertise come, or where did you play? And, you know, when you say, yeah, I played in the National Football League, it's instant credibility. You know, we got a creed where we always say, I trust. And, you know, the I trust part is I'm trusting the process. And I'm trusting what you're telling me. And I'm trusting how you trying to make me, you know, do everything that you ask me to do, even though I don't agree with it. And so that right there gives instant credibility when you say, I've seen it, I've done it, and I know what it takes.
Finish this sentence for me. Norfolk State football will be
a winning program in 2025. That's it. We're going to win games.